Wait, before you watch my new video, please subscribe first. Then you can continue to watching. Assalamualaikum, hello guys, welcome to contactzaraku with me Zara from Indonesia. So in this video, I want to react to a video about politics again, about Turkey and Greece. Wow. And the title of this video is really surprised me. Like the Turkish President Erdogan said that we can invade Greece in one night. Wow. Actually, about war between Greece and Turkey, I don't support one of them because one thing that I want to say, I hope they will be in peace and not war again. Alright guys, let's start to react.
Turkish President Erdogan warned Greece that Turkey could come all of a sudden one night in response to Greek military, suggesting a Turkish attack on its neighbor cannot be ruled out. Greece sent letters to NATO and the United Nations to condemn this aggressive talk. Turkish President Erdogan threatened Greece it would pay a heavy price if it continued to harass Turkish planes over the Aegean. Questioned about his earlier use of the phrase and the possibility of Turkish military action against its NATO ally, Erdogan reiterated the expression, "What I'm talking about is not a dream. If what I said was that we could come one night all of a sudden, it means that, when the time comes, we can come suddenly one night." He was referring to Ankara's claim that Greek S-300 surface-to-air missiles stationed on Crete locked on a Turkish aircraft west of Rhodes, which he referred to as a hostile act.
Wow.
Athens has vehemently denied Turkey's allegation, with Greek military sources assuring that the S-300s did not lock onto Turkish F-16 fighter jets. Erdogan warned that Greece is making the same mistake as in 1922. He said, "As we always say, Greece is not our equal or interlocutor in any political, economic, or military way. We know the true intention of those who try to waste our country's time and energy by using Greece today, as was the case a century ago. Hey Greece, take a look at history. If you go further, you will pay a heavy price. We have only one word to tell Greece, do not forget Izmir." He referred to the end of the Greek occupation after Turkish forces entered the city on the Aegean coast in 1922.
Ey Yunan! Bak tarihe bak. Tarihe dön. Çok daha fazla ileri gidersen bunun bedeli ağır olur, ağır. Vakti, saati geldiğinde gereğini yaparız. Hani diyoruz ya, bir gece ansızın
Greece's government has written to the country's NATO and European Union partners and the head of the United Nations, asking them to formally condemn increasingly aggressive talk by officials in neighboring Turkey and suggesting that current bilateral tensions could escalate into a second open conflict on European soil. In the letters, Greek Foreign Minister Nikos Dendias said the behavior of his country's historic regional rival should be censured by the three bodies. He wrote, "By not doing so in time or by underestimating the seriousness of the matter, we risk witnessing again a situation similar to that currently unfolding in some other part of our continent. This is something none of us would really wish to see." In the letters to NATO, EU, and UN, Athens quoted Erdogan's references to the Greek occupation of Aegean Sea islands that have been part of Greece for decades, and to the Greek people as vile. They said, the Turkish leadership has apparently chosen to present future aggression as already prepared and, more importantly, as a justified action. Unless seen in its true dimensions and properly dealt with by the international community, this Turkish attitude risks destabilizing our wider region and causing consequences of which the gravity is hard to assess. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis said Turkey's position that questions Greece's sovereignty over its Aegean islands is absurd, rendering any talks between the two countries difficult. Mitsotakis said, Turkey's objections, as they were phrased in the latest letters to the United Nations, are absolutely absurd as they raise questions about Greece's sovereignty over its islands. We cannot have any discussion over the absurd. Athens has said that Turkey's remarks about it arming the islands are unfounded. Both countries have sent letters to the United Nations outlining their rival positions on airspace and the islands. Mitsotakis said the two leaders would inevitably meet at some point and they should not stop talking to each other. We need to meet each other and we need to discuss. We need to be able to agree that we disagree, but we need to agree on the framework for solving our differences.
And I want to be absolutely clear. We will not accept open acts of aggression that violate our sovereignty and our territorial rights. And these include overflights over Greek islands, which must stop immediately.
Greece and Turkey, which are NATO allies, came close to armed conflict in 2020 when Ankara deployed warships and seismic vessels to explore for hydrocarbons in Mediterranean waters internationally recognized as Greek. But Erdogan has sought to repair the relationship more recently, including during a visit to Istanbul by Mitsotakis in March. NATO allies Greece and Turkey came to the brink of war in 1996 over a deserted Aegean islet. Bilateral ties have improved over the years despite occasional tension, most recently over energy resources in the Mediterranean. The neighbors are still at odds over a host of issues, such as competing claims over their respective continental shelves in the Mediterranean, maritime rights and airspace, the status of some Aegean islets, and ethnically split Cyprus. Ankara repeated its call to hold bilateral talks on all the issues of contention with Greece, including over airspace. Mitsotakis, who met Turkish President Erdogan in March 2022, said Turkey's recent stance on overflights undermines progress made in that meeting and they need to stop immediately. Turkey, he added, has not aligned with any sanctions taken by the European Union. This is not the typical behavior of a country aspiring to join the EU family, he said. Until then, and as long as Turkey's relations remain troubled with the West, military experts here warn that Greece should be on high alert for more war games in contested areas in the Aegean. Retired Greek Air Force Commander Evanilos Georgaussis said that Turkish flights weren't new but hadn't previously been seen in such large numbers. The fear, he said, is that anything can go wrong. The only thing missing in these Madare chases, Georgaussis said, is the act of pressing the button to unlock missiles against the enemy target. Everything else is as real and warlike as can be, he said, and it's dangerous. Contesting claims to the Aegean brought Greece and Turkey to a dangerous standoff more than 2 decades ago, forcing the United States to intervene to pull back both sides from the brink of war. Greece has urged Ankara to take the dispute to the International Court of Justice in The Hague, but Turkey has repeatedly refused. Despite being among the continent's smaller countries, at roughly 2.2% of GDP, Greek military spending far exceeds that of fellow states, not least because of long-standing differences with nominal NATO ally Turkey. Mitsotakis' center-right government responded by announcing a major weapons program aimed at modernizing Greece's armed forces with the acquisition of fighter planes, frigates, helicopters, and missile systems. The €6.8 billion defense plan included the purchase of 18 French-made Rafale jets, since increased to 24. Mitsotakis told that Greece had no intention of entering an arms race with Turkey, instead claiming the upgrade was essential after almost a decade of economic crisis and persistent cuts in the sector. However, he also said Athens had not forgotten the military assistance Paris had given Greece when it dispatched warships and fighter jets to the region last year. He said, "We have not forgotten that France stood by us during difficult times in the summer of 2020.
Well, okay guys, that is the video about Turkey and Greece again. I think there are always two countries that neighbor to each other, but they have not good relationship. For example, Turkey and Greece, South Korea and Japan, and also Indonesia and Malaysia, India and Pakistan, Ireland and UK, and also USA and Mexico. There are so many countries that in competitions. I hope in this world there will be no war again, because the war brings nothing but blood and tears. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye!